the discovery and the arrogance. In the vast expanse of the Galactic Federation known as the Zorvian Empire, conquest was not just a strategy, it was a religion. The Zorvians, a race of towering, chitin-plated beings with multiple appendages and eyes that could pierce through the void of space, had subjugated over 1,000 worlds. Their technology was unparalleled: ships that warped reality, weapons that disintegrated matter at the atomic level, and bioengineered armies that adapted to any environment. They believed in the supremacy of order, efficiency, and control. Chaos was their enemy, and they eradicated it wherever they found it. It was during the 47th expansion cycle that their scouts stumbled upon Sol 3, a blue-green marble orbiting a modest yellow star on the fringes of the Milky Way. The planet was teeming with life, but not the orderly kind. Initial scans revealed a world of extremes. Oceans that covered 70% of the surface, continents fractured by tectonic plates that shifted like restless beasts, atmospheres roiled by storms that could swallow cities, and a biosphere where every creature seemed designed to kill or be killed. The Zorvians dubbed it Kragther, their word for untamed wilderness, but in their databases, it was classified as a Class 9 Death World, the highest rating for hostility. Yet, the High Command saw opportunity. Kragther's resources were abundant. Rare minerals buried deep in its crust, vast reserves of water, and a native species, the humans, that appeared primitive but industrious. Humans had built sprawling cities, harnessed atomic energy, and even ventured into space with rudimentary rockets. But they were divided, warring among themselves over petty borders and ideologies. Soft-shelled vermin, Admiral Vexclor sneered during the briefing. They infest the surface like parasites, but they lack unity. We will bring them order. The council debated briefly. Some advisors cautioned against it. Death worlds are named such for a reason, one elder intoned. The last one we attempted to tame cost us 3 fleets. But Vexclor dismissed the warnings. That was Epsilon 7, a gas giant with acid rains and magnetic storms. This Kragther has solid ground, breathable air, and gravity we can endure. Its dangers are biological, predators, diseases, weather patterns. Our shields will hold, our vaccines will adapt, and our legions will crush the natives. The decision was made. Operation Taming Dawn would commence. A fleet of 500 warships, carrying 1,000,000 Zorvian warriors and terraformers, warped into the Sol system. They bypassed the outer gas giants, ignoring the primitive probes humans had sent drifting through the void. As they approached Kragther, Earth, as the humans called it, the Admiral broadcast a message across all frequencies. Primitive inhabitants of Sol 3, we are the Zorvian Empire. Surrender your world, and you shall be integrated as laborers in our grand design. Resist, and you will be exterminated. On Earth, chaos erupted. Governments scrambled, militaries mobilized, and civilians panicked. In the United Nations headquarters in New York, world leaders argued over the response. They're aliens. We can't fight that, cried the representative from a small island nation. But General Harlan Thorpe, a grizzled veteran from the U.S. Space Command, slammed his fist on the table. We've faced worse odds. Remember Normandy? Stalingrad? This is our home. We fight. The first Zorvian landing parties touched down in what they deemed optimal zones: the Sahara Desert for its open terrain, the Amazon rainforest for its biomass potential, and Siberia for its mineral wealth. Their drop pods screamed through the atmosphere, deploying energy domes that shielded them from the elements. Scouts reported back. Natives are mobilizing crude vehicles and projectiles. Fauna is aggressive but containable. Flora shows no immediate threat. Vexclor smiled from the bridge of his flagship, the indomitable Claw. See? They thought they could tame it. But we are the Conquerors. Little did he know, Earth was already awakening. The Sahara landings went smoothly at first. Zorvian engineers began erecting extraction towers to mine the sands for silicon and rare earths. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, the temperature plummeted. Their exosuits, designed for vacuum and radiation, struggled with the rapid shift. Minor inconvenience, the commander reported. Then came the sandstorms, whirling vortexes of grit that battered their domes, infiltrating seals and grinding machinery to a halt. One tower collapsed under the onslaught, burying a squad alive. In the Amazon, the rainforest welcomed them with open arms, or rather, vines. The Zorvians' defoliators cleared paths, but the jungle fought back. Vines regrew overnight, ensnaring vehicles. Insects swarmed, their bites carrying parasites that evaded Zorvian immune boosters. One warrior, removing his helmet for a moment, was stung by a bullet ant. The pain drove him mad, and he fired wildly into the canopy, alerting human guerrillas. Siberia was the worst. The cold cracked armor plating, and blizzards blinded sensors. Beneath the permafrost, methane pockets exploded when drilled, incinerating entire teams. And then there were the bears, massive, furred behemoths that charged through force fields weakened by the freeze. But the Zorvians pressed on. They established beachheads, vaporized human resistance in initial skirmishes, and began pacification campaigns. Cities like Cairo and Manaus fell under orbital bombardments. Their populations herded into camps. The natives are resilient, a field report noted, but disorganized. They rely on emotion over logic. Humanity, however, was adapting. In hidden bunkers, scientists reverse-engineered captured Zorvian tech. Hackers disrupted enemy communications with viruses born from Earth's chaotic internet. In nature, it was humanity's silent ally. Vexclor received a troubling update. Admiral, seismic activity is increasing. The planet's core is restless. He waved it off. A mere tremor. Proceed with Phase 2. The invasion deepens. With beachheads secured, the Zorvian Empire unleashed the full might of their invasion. Phase 2. Subjugation. Massive terraformers descended from orbit, colossal machines designed to reshape worlds, flattening mountains, diverting rivers, and imposing grid-like order on the chaotic landscape. In North America, they targeted the Rocky Mountains, blasting peaks with plasma cannons to create vast plateaus for their hive cities. In Europe, the Alps suffered similar fate, reduced to rubble for mineral extraction. Humans fought back with everything they had. In the ruins of Washington, D.C., President Elena Vasquez broadcast a defiant message to the invaders. This is Earth. We've survived ice ages, plagues, wars that scorched continents. You think your fancy ships scare us? We'll make you regret ever leaving your stars. Underground resistance networks formed. The Global Human Alliance, GHA, coordinating strikes from Moscow to Mumbai. The Zorvians' ground forces were relentless. Their warriors, enhanced with cybernetic implants, marched in perfect phalanxes, their energy rifles slicing through tanks like butter. In the Battle of the Mississippi, human armies deployed experimental railguns, piercing Zorvian armor, but the aliens countered with swarms of drones that darkened the sky. Casualties mounted, 200,000 humans dead in a single day, versus a mere 5,000 Zorvians. Yet, cracks appeared in the invaders' armor, literally and figuratively. Earth's weather proved a formidable foe. In the Pacific, a typhoon, Hurricane Zeta, amplified by climate shifts from orbital bombardments, smashed into a Zorvian fleet anchored off Japan. Waves taller than skyscrapers capsized destroyers, and lightning fried electronics. The atmosphere is weaponized, a surviving captain gasped. In Australia, the outback's heat melted sealant on Zorvian vehicles, while venomous spiders and snakes infiltrated camps. One high-ranking officer died from a funnel web bite, his chitin swelling grotesquely. These micropredators are evolving resistance to our repellents, biologists warned. But the true horror emerged in the biological realm. Humans, carriers of countless viruses, began a covert biowarfare campaign. In captured Zorvian outposts, resistance fighters released modified strains of influenza and Ebola, tailored to exploit weaknesses in alien physiology. The Zorvians' adaptive vaccines failed against Earth's mutagenic pathogens. Mutations occurred too rapidly. Outbreaks spread, turning invincible warriors into quivering husks. Vexclor, orbiting safely, demanded results. Deploy the assimilators. These were bioconverters, devices that rewrote native DNA to create loyal hybrids. In Africa, they experimented on captured humans, but the results were disastrous. Human genetics, forged in the crucible of evolution, resisted. Hybrids rebelled, their human instincts overriding programming, sabotaging equipment from within. Meanwhile, Earth's fauna joined the fray. In India, elephant herds stampeded through Zorvian lines, guided by mahouts in the resistance. In Africa, lions and hyenas ambushed patrols, drawn by the scent of alien blood. Even domesticated animals turned. Dogs in Europe formed packs, harrying scouts. Tectonic activity escalated. The San Andreas Fault, stressed by mining operations, triggered a magnitude 9.2 earthquake along the west coast. Zorvian bases in California sank into fissures, swallowed by the earth. Volcanic eruptions followed. Yellowstone stirred, spewing ash that clogged engines galaxy-wide. Humans capitalized. In the siege of Beijing, PLA forces used EMP bursts from scavenged Zorvian tech to disable shields, then unleashed artillery barges. Zorvian casualties spiked to 50,000. Their learning, Vexclor admitted privately. But publicly, he proclaimed, the death world weakens. Phase 3, Eradication. Deep in the Amazon, a human scout named Maria Santos whispered to her team, the jungle remembers. It's on our side. As Zorvian terraformers advanced, vines choked their treads, and piranhas swarmed flooded zones. The world was striking back, the world's fury unleashed. By Phase 3, the Zorvians' arrogance had curdled into frustration. Their losses mounted not from human weapons alone, but from the planet itself. Vexclor ordered escalation, orbital strikes to glass-resistant zones, chemical defoliants to sterilize jungles, and seismic inducers to stabilize the crust. We will break this world's spine, he vowed. But Earth had other plans. Climate systems, disrupted by alien interference, spiraled into hyper-extremes. In Antarctica, melting ice caps released ancient viruses frozen for millennia. Zorvian researchers, studying the continent for water extraction, inhaled spores that liquefied their internals. It's like the planet's immune system, one dying scientist transmitted. In the Himalayas, avalanches buried entire legions. Monsoons in Southeast Asia flooded bases, drowning thousands. Tornado alleys in the American Midwest spawned supercells that hurled debris like shrapnel. One twister lifted a Zorvian gunship and smashed it into a mountain. Humanity's resilience shone. In underground labs, Dr. Aiden Kobayashi fused Zorvian energy cells with human fusion tech, creating portable shields. Guerrilla units, dubbed Earth's Ghosts, struck from shadows, ambushing supply lines, sabotaging terraformers. In the Battle of the Sahara, Bedouin allies used sand dunes for cover, deploying hit-and-run tactics with captured plasma rifles. The oceans rebelled too. Zorvian submersibles mining the Mariana Trench awakened deep-sea horrors, colossal squids that entangled vessels, and pressure waves from undersea quakes that imploded hulls. Whales, sensing distress, rammed surface ships. The fauna coordinates, a Zorvian analyst puzzled. But it was instinct, Earth's ecosystem, interconnected, responding to invasion. Biological warfare peaked. Humans released swarms of genetically enhanced mosquitoes carrying Zorvian-specific plagues. Infections ravaged fleets. Admirals coughed up their own chitin. Our bodies betray us. Vexclor wheezed, infected but defiant. Catastrophes chained. A supervolcano in Indonesia erupted, blotting the sun with ash. Global cooling followed, freezing Zorvian troops in temperate zones. Humans, adapted to variability, endured with fire and will. In space, asteroid belts, disturbed by warp drives, pelted the fleet. One impact crippled the indomitable Claw's engines. The system itself attacks, engineers cried. On the ground, iconic moments. In New York ruins, a ragtag force led by Thorpe held Times Square against a Zorvian assault. Pigeons, carriers of bombs, dive-bombed enemies. Even the birds fight, a soldier laughed. As losses hit critical, half the fleet gone, armies decimated. Vexclor realized, we underestimated. Retreat to orbit. Prepare for final bombardment. But Earth wasn't done. A solar flare, amplified by disrupted magnetosphere, fried remaining shields. The death world struck back, unyielding, the reckoning and the triumph. Desperation gripped the Zorvians. From orbit, Vexclor launched the Annihilator Protocol, planet-cracking warheads to fracture Earth's core. If we cannot tame it, we will destroy it. Humans detected the launch. In a daring counter, Space Command remnants, using boosted rockets, intercepted missiles. Astronauts like Captain Li Wei manually detonated payloads in space, sacrificing themselves. The backlash was cosmic. Debris from explosions triggered Kessler syndrome, shredding Zorvian ships in low orbit. Surviving vessels limped away, but Earth's gravity trapped many. On the surface, uprisings peaked. In every continent, humans surged, armed with scavenged tech, fueled by rage. Zorvian holdouts crumbled under combined assaults from people and planet. Vexplor's flagship, battered, attempted warp. But a geomagnetic storm disrupted drives. Impossible, he roared as systems failed. The ship plunged into the atmosphere, burning up over the Pacific. Survivors surrendered or fled. The Empire, receiving distress signals, abandoned the campaign. Kragther is forsaken, the Council decreed. Humanity emerged scarred but stronger. Rebuilding began, with lessons learned. Unity in adversity, harmony with nature. Earth, the death world, had proven unconquerable. In HFY spirit, humans broadcast to the stars, "Come again, and we'll be ready." Humanity endures.